Hello again, YouTube. Excuse the background noise. I have my son today. What I'm going to be doing today is basically going over current events and see what the heck is going on in the world. I actually already videoed this, but I'm going to be going back and doing it again. That's always fun. So basically, according to the title, you're going to see that I believe that we are most likely in the terror phase, okay? I believe that the first 4 trumpets have already sounded. And I believe that at this point now, right? So I believe that that peace was like the last few years, that 30 minutes of peace, and it's getting bad. Pretty much, we see the stage being set up for the Antichrist, and it's coming very soon. I really do believe it's going to be April time frame, around that area. Basically what's going on, because it parallels with Jesus and Passover, Nissan, everything lines up in 2020. It's a prophetic year. So basically I'm going to be going in and kind of showing you what's going on around the world based off of these scriptures. Also, the Antichrist the stage is being set as far as there's a lot of governments that have fallen, especially as far as India doesn't have a government. Israel doesn't have a government. They're killing leaders left and right. There's protests going on. There's going to be havoc everywhere. It's going to get so bad that people are going to be begging for, like, peace. They're going to beg for some type of order. So we're going to go in here. And I already went through and let me just get all my stuff back and I'll be back with you. So we're back and we see that the Lamb breaks the 7th seal, right? I don't like actually reading those. I don't trust them. But the titles, because the New King James Version, it doesn't have that. But it says, when the Lamb broke the 7th seal on the scroll, there was silence throughout the heaven for about half of an hour. Okay? So the first trumpet, let's see, first trumpet. Oh, the 4 trumpets here. All right, so we got the first one. And hail and fire mixed with the blood had been thrown down to the earth. 1/3 of the earth was set on fire. 1/3 of the trees were burned, and all the grass was burned. So we're going to look at a sky view of what's going on here. You tell me. No thanks. So this is what we're working with right now. This is what the world looks like right now. I would say that's more than 1/3 even. This is terrible. So the light red equals active fires, and the dark red are the most recent within the past 24 hours. Talks the wind, everything. This is what's going on right now. So that's one. Oh, and then there's also been spotting of rain, blood rain or whatever they're calling it, and blood snow, which is it's something that is going on, and the scientists are covering it, of course. Okay, and then it says after that, then the things in the sea died and the ships were destroyed. I don't think that I really have to go through the animals dying because that's pretty prevalent. Everyone's seeing the massive amounts of whales washing up and the massive amounts of everything. Just all the animals are dying. The birds are falling out of the sky just randomly. So right here we have, and then according to my research, it's been within the last 6 years. So these last 7 years are like, this is God's wrath, all of this. Now, as far as the 42 months, that's going to come at the end. I believe it's 7 years and 42 months. I also believe that the devil reigned for 7,000 years instead of 7 years. And that basically we're in the 7th millennium now. And pretty much ever since Jesus died on the cross, which was the middle of the week, right? It was, I believe, in about 3790, which is, according to the Hebrew calendar, they actually count the years. And 3000, I believe, 790 is when Jesus died. And when he was about to die, I believe he told Judas Iscariot that darkness has taken over. I can go on that in another video. If I find the script, well, when I find the scripture, I'll put it below. But I'm going to post the video first. So basically, we have 2019. This is off the coast of France. Ships being dropped every 4 seconds. This happened 6 years ago. A sinking that happened 1 year ago. 5 sinking ships caught on camera. It's the Coast Guards. Within the last 7 months, people caught on camera a fatal collision, a ship collision. There was a mysterious disappearance of a ship. And that was 7 years ago. Oh, it's been, okay, so it's been about 7 years. And the world's worst sinking complications, that 6 months ago, 8 months ago. You see where I'm going with this? 4 years ago, 1 year ago. So these ships are sinking. This is like crazy. So that's going on. Yeah, look up the blood snow and the blood rain. That's another thing that's going on. 1/3 of the ships. Okay, so then it says, then the third angel blew his trumpet, and the great star fell from the sky, burning like a torch, and it fell on 1/3 of the rivers and on the springs of water. The star was named Bitterness, and it made 1/3 of the water bitter. Many people died from drinking the bitter water. Okay, so this has been going on for a little while, but most recently, we've even had incidents in America with the Flint, Michigan situation and all of those things. So basically, I have up, of course, the UN is involved in this. Why wouldn't they be? So they're basically showing the key facts. They're showing all their research that they've done. Okay. Well, it's causing to typhoid, polio, chlorea, diarrhea, other diseases. But they say it's because of not getting vaccinated. You know what? I'm sorry, but like that's how I feel about vaccinations. I did not feel like that with my daughter. But when I had my son, the Lord tugged at my heart, and I actually have a video. 40 days I fasted because I found out what was inside of these needles. And I was disgusted. It's an abomination before God. They put baby fetuses into these needles. And the MMR, I believe it's the MMR, the Roto, maybe it's a Roto, the one that the baby swallows, the one that the baby ingests, has baby parts in it. And not only that, but they show in these aborted places, just recently, it's been on the news, that they are cutting up the babies, especially with no anesthesia, nothing, that they're giving abortions to, and they are selling the baby body parts. This is what's going on in society, and you wonder why God is mad? This is his wrath right now. So basically, they're saying that there's a lot of sickness, there's a lot of disease, and there's a lot of illness. And as far as deaths go, I mean, there's been many deaths. There's been many. It says 829,000 people die each year. No, I'm not quite sure where this is directed to, but even in Florida, people were getting sick off of water because of the plastic and the contamination. So now we have, okay, so bitterness, the star that fell, right? So, I mean, obviously NASA does not keep us updated at all. And it's funny because this forest fires that I got is the only one that's not being controlled by NASA. All of the other ones are NASA satellites. And I would like to actually show you a comparison of what NASA satellites look like compared to world's. Oops, sorry. It's a weird typing position. Okay. I can't even believe I found that. It's globalfireswatch.org. It's just a regular map. That one's good. But here we go. So, well, it's weird because, I guess when I type it in like that, it's different. I guess you got to do sky view because I did sky view. And then let's see what NASA has to show for it. Because it's really frustrating. Like, what are they doing? They're not showing anyone anything. Yeah, because the Amazon's been burning for a little while now. And then you just got France and what is it? So here's a fire observatory here. I also saw, you see what they have there? Do you see that? Does that look anything like this? And when was that updated? Oh. Okay, so okay, here we go. Never mind. Maybe it's just me, you know? Sorry about that. What? No, that's what they're saying for September 2019. No, that's not. That is not true. It was worse. So yeah, that's what we're working with right now. That's what we're working with right now. And this star of bitterness. So there was a star that fell in Russia, or a meteorite that fell in Russia. And they were mad because NASA didn't tell them about it. This happened 6 years ago. And it said it fell like a burning torch here. Yep. Fell from the sky like a burning torch. So the only one that really, there's been a few meteorites to fall, but this one really hit hard. This one was like a bomb. Let's take it back and press play. You see that? Do you see that? And I can't believe they're just chilling, watching this. Everyone's so calm about it. Why are they? Watch, you'll hear how loud it is. Like a bomb. That's terrible. Oh, you know what? I want to show you guys another video. Yeah, so those were the 4. Okay, now watch this, right? It says, then the 4th angel blew his trumpet, and 1/3 of the sky was struck, 1/3 of the moon, 1/3 of the stars, and they became dark. And 1/3 of the day was dark, and also 1/3 of the night. Now watch this. I just came to this epiphany. You know, people are seeing 2 suns and 2 moons. People are seeing 2 suns and 2 moons. You know why? Because one of the suns and one of the moons is dim and they're trying to hide it. That's what I believe they're putting chemtrails for. Because they don't want us to see that the moon has dimmed. That's not abnormal at all. Do you see the difference in contrast? Now, people are saying that next to the sun is this, ew, what is that? People are saying that next to the sun, that it's, what's that, Nibiru? I don't think it's Nibiru. I think that they're trying to hide the fact that, oh, here's the two moons. Do you see the contrast between the two moons? You see the two moons in the sky? The contrast? Try to zoom in. You see one's a lot, well, on my camera it doesn't really catch it, but one is a lot brighter than the other. One is a lot brighter than the other. I just can't even right now. Here's another one that was caught, but this guy curses, so I'm not gonna put him on. That was another mistake I did. I just clicked on his video and he was like cursing up a storm. And then I had to start the video all over again. Thanks a lot. Because I don't have time to edit because I'm like a full-time mom, so. Yep. Also, there was something else that was very interesting as well. So, that's the end, right? Now watch this. And also, we don't see as many stars anymore. And they say it's because of electricity. But when I was in Italy, I lived in a cornfield where there's like no lights. And it was farm town. So they didn't have a lot of lights like that. And from when I was a little girl, I used to see a vast amount of stars. Not anymore. So on Revelation 8:13, it says, "Then I looked and I heard an eagle crying out loudly, and it flew as it flew in the air. Terror, terror, terror to all who belong to this world because of what will happen when the three angels blow their trumpets." Now, I would really encourage you guys that if you have not accepted Jesus, now's the time to do it. Even if you don't understand it and you have any type of urgency, if you're even on this video at all, then you have a curiosity. So I would really, really pray that you just give yourself over to Jesus Christ before it's too late. And all of those Christians who are being lukewarm, I pray that you too give yourselves over to Jesus Christ before it's too late. I have spoken on this matter about how I do believe that there will be some type of rapture in the beginning. And the reason why I believe this is because a lot of people are having these dreams, and I was one of them. I've had two. And not only that, but Enoch and Elijah were taken up as a whole. And there has been there are many examples in the Bible. This is one of them here that I spoke about in a previous video. So Revelation 3:10, "Because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world." Okay? Oops, sorry. So if you don't belong to this world, then we don't need to be tested. You understand? And that's in the beginning of Revelation. So there's going to be people here, but that, and God can do whatever he wants. Also, thirdly, I spoke also about, people are going to die. Like, the whole place is just going to be destroyed. So, I mean, if you want to say that we're not part of the two witnesses because we get taken out or whatever the case be, that's still calling up. We're out of here. You know what I mean? Without the persecution factor. Now, that's not going to be the case for everyone because God does what he wants to do. God does what he wants to do. I do believe, I don't know. It's up to the Lord. It's just what he wants, It doesn't matter what I believe. But I got confirmation on this factor. So basically, it says that the fifth trumpet brings the first terror. Okay? So it says, an angel blew his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky, and he was given the shaft to the bottomless pit. When he opened it, smoke poured out through, though from a huge furnace, and the sunlight and the air turned dark from the smoke. Then the locusts came and ascended to the earth, and they were given power to sting like scorpions. Okay, so they could not touch the people with the seal of God on their heads. And they were told not to kill them, but to torture them for 5 months. Now, I do strongly believe that in April, the Antichrist is going to rise to the top, and it's definitely Jared Kushner. And I have a video actually where I'm talking about Obama versus Kushner and all these other people. But listen, in the book of Daniel, referring to Daniel 8, it talks about the little horn, which is one of the other characteristics of the Antichrist. And a little horn, in contrast to the big horns, is the simple fact that he is not in power, nor has he ever been in power. He's never been a king. He's never been a kingdom. He is simply a man behind the scenes who is pulling all the strings to a puppet. He owns a $1.8 billion 666 building in the middle of New York City. I had a dream about this 7 to 10 years ago, something like that. And I do believe it was Holy Spirit filled vision. This man is going to rise to the top. Not only that, but he is deep in technology, the RFID chip. And if you ever hear any of his speeches, he talks about consolidating all documents into a system that you don't have to basically carry any cards or paperwork. He doesn't believe in paper. And he's going to make it sound really good, because one of the things that he was preaching during one of his, briefings, was the simple fact that, the simple fact that he said that if you have to go from hospital to hospital and you don't have someone with you, like, for example, like someone's in a car accident and they have no identification, he said it would be easy to just consolidate all of your information so that if you need to be transferred via air or to another hospital or whatever the case be, then all of your documentation will be right there, easily accessible. And he talks about modernizing. And he pretty much, since he's been in the White House, he has modernized everything with technology. So you tell me. I don't know. And I always talk about the Pharisees and the lawyers, and it said that Kushner is the lawyer. He's also Jewish. And I mean, I can go through this like over and over and over and over again. But the Lord says in, Revelation, I believe 13. He says that they're the synagogue of Satan, and that those are not his people. Those are not his people, because they've been scattered a long time ago. Revelation, I believe it's 13. But this is what's going on right now. Also, Jesus had all of his fights, for the most part, with watch, I'm probably not going to find it. It's all right. You know what I mean. But basically, what's going to happen is that God is just going to take them out. Here's all this scattered. If you type in scatter on Blue Letter Bible, you're going to get every Bible verse that talks about how his people were scattered. And the Lord says that he himself is going to bring the nation together. He himself is going to bring the nation together if they obey his commands. And this is all in Isaiah. I actually have a video about that I have to put out. And basically, he says, can one nation be formed in a day? Yes, they can. And that was in 1948. May, to be exact, when that whole nation came together. So it's all a farce. Like, literally, it's a con, it's a lie, it's a deceiving. So I want to put that out there. So, okay, so that last thing, okay, the bottomless pit, right? So the scorpions are going to come next. And then the next part, then the angels are going to be released from the Euphrates River. So all hell is going to break loose. And then everyone's going to die of plagues and sickness. And then next, you have when Jesus comes down. Oh. And when Jesus comes down, he has a secret. And you'll see that. I also had a dream about a scroll, and I still haven't gotten to the bottom of that. So yeah. Okay, so God's mysterious plan will be fulfilled. Okay? So there's a mysterious plan that God has, and he told whoever wrote it, I believe it was John, not to write what he had heard. And then when you go to the next one, the two witnesses come. Bam. So for 42 months. So this is when I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and because prophecy's hard. It's not something that we're going to understand. I believe possibly that the two witnesses will reign at the same time with the Antichrist, right? Two witnesses will prophesy during this time. Here's the thing, though. The time stretch. I don't know. It seems like it would be that easy, but it's not. And here's the thing, right? So I talked about America, and I said it was paralleled and to the Middle East, right? Because I said basically Nevada is Egypt. Basically, I believe New York might be Greece, and I said that I believe that California might be Israel. Now, look at this here, and something down in Mexico too, all the way down into Mexico. So here it says that it's figuratively called Sodom and Egypt. I've noticed that there's parallels and that there's a previous and a future tense when it comes to prophecy, especially 90% of the Bible is like that. So I wanted to show you one thing real quick that I found very interesting. And then after that, I'll show you that possibly the demons were already released. Because people are spotting some pretty weird stuff. Pretty weird stuff, bruh. All right, so look at this. If you haven't seen it already. This was in 2016. See the clouds in the sky and the chauffeur? I think that's the last Trump. I think that's it. 2016. You hear the chauffeur? You see that? The cloud in the sky. This is over Jerusalem. That is absolutely proof that something prophetic is going on. I think 2016 probably marked the first 3.5 years. All right, now let's see. Let's put things flying because I don't want to do anything crazy. Oh, that was scary. Nah, let's do things in the sky. Because I saw some pretty creepy stuff in the sky. Okay, buddy. So they're seeing some pretty weird stuff in the sky, literally. Really weird stuff. Things that look like dragons, things of that nature.
Yeah, this is the way the sun is right now in Texas. Here you go, look at this.
There's a circle.
I can't even get the whole ring on it.
With a ring of...
This place. This is Canton, Texas. Shithole.
Okay, I'm sorry about the cursing. I literally cannot put videos on anymore with the cursing. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. I do apologize. There was a really cool video I saw the other day. It's just like people were in a plane and they spotted like some weird stuff. And people were like, I'm not going to put it on. I'll probably link some stuff below. But I'm going to go because my son's acting up. So thank you guys for listening. Bye.